Rio, Mr. Still Your Girl, is on the scene. The case has been presented to the court, and Rio has just said he objects. All right, everyone, that has been the episode. Episode number 11 has been all about the Silver Bride, and that has been about Celia and kind of like her taking her hand in marriage in this like very, very political marriage with basically the one person that Rio hates the most, which is the dude who tortured him as a child, who he's had this vendetta against. And not really like a personal one. It's just something that, like, when this guy comes up, he's like, yo, I want to punch this guy in the face, and rightfully so. So, most of the episode, just to kind of like sum it up, was basically Rio locating Celia with the assistance of Aisha, him finding her basically, kind of welled up in his arms, them sharing a special moment because it's been 4 years since they've been separated during this time. Her then offering tea, but immediately redacting that because the one thing that Rio wanted to know the most when meeting Celia was, why are you doing this? Is this what you want? And with her really kind of dancing around the answer and not really giving like a specific answer because she faces two things. She's like duty versus what she actually wants. And in the episode, there's a special moment that happens where like she confronts him and her real feelings come out. And she literally says, what are you going to do? Are you going to take me away? Are you going to marry me? What are you going to do? And, at that point, Rio was dumbfounded by this question. And although, his answer should have been like, yes, all of that, yes, especially in this world, because he can have like 12 wives or whatever, right? So he should definitely say like, yes, absolutely. But at that point, he was just so caught off guard by her doing that, and then she pushed him away that he didn't really have time to really absorb and then actually give like a legit answer, you know what I mean? And hopefully now that 24 hours or 10 hours, 12 hours, time has passed, hopefully now he has a real answer to that. Well, what he did between the time that question was presented, between leaving Celia and kind of now where the wedding's taking place, what he did with that time is him and Aisha specifically went and investigated on what was happening in the kingdom, what is up with this political marriage, and he now has a lot of ammo. He now has like a good idea of what's been going on inside of the kingdom, so then that way he can really make a decision on what he wants to do. And kind of as it wrapped up, and Celia's making her way down to actually go and marry Duke Arbor. At that point, he makes contact with her via Aisha, and obviously a lot of emotions come over Celia, and she's very caught off guard by it. And at that point, he definitely makes a decision, and that is to go and crush or kind of intervene during the wedding. He makes it like a big spectacle, and that's kind of where we got left off on, in this week's episode is Mr. Still Your Girl about to come on to action, and hopefully he does it. And what I'm really hoping is that he does it with the intent. I hope he doesn't do it because he feels he has to do it or because he feels like he's doing it because this is not what she wants. Hopefully he does it with the intent of both parties of what he wants, which hopefully is her as well. Which, I think, like, based, again, like I said, in this world where he can have multiple wives or whatever the case is, I do think that she needs to be his first stop, and she needs to be number one. And he can make alternate decisions later about the other, ladies in his life, including the now spirit with him, Aisha, right? Which I know Celia will warm up to and be able to love in her own way as well. But he really needs to go in there with the intent. Overall, I mean, I was really smiling during this episode. Like, I really like the Mr. Still Your Girl kind of action. That's probably what I'm gonna title this video, this thumbnail, and all this other stuff. But like, I was really smiling throughout this episode, and I really enjoyed it quite a bit. This was an informative episode. I like the special bond that they share. I've liked the special bond that they've shared since he was a kid, and kind of how Celia's been looking over him when she was a kid, because she was like 12, 11, 12 years old when they first met. So she was basically a child as well, and they formed that bond, and over time it's been strengthened, and their time away has, definitely put a pause on kind of that moving forward, but now it could be a continuation of, but they have to get over this big hurdle. But the one thing they're going to have to consider, too, is, what's going to happen after he steals her away, what's going to happen with her father and the kingdom, et cetera, et cetera. He is also a wanted man, too, so that's another thing to consider as well. But, overall, this episode, like I said, I had a smile on my face during the whole time. I truly enjoyed it. Celia is one of my favorite characters. I really like her quite a bit. And I hope that Rio does right by her and not just steal her away or get her away from this, but I hope that he's able to actually fulfill, part of what his feelings are and, be able to actually take her and, reciprocate those feelings that she has for him too. So I'm really hoping for all of that, but I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was top notch. I thought it was one of the best episodes of the season so far, just like from a emotional standpoint. And like, I was like, yes, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely like really, really enjoyed it quite a bit. I think this was one of the better ones for sure. Especially because, we've gotten in the realm of having a couple of cheesy episodes, so I really like this relationship, between him and Celia. I really like them kind of, honing in on this more. And I'm very, very interested to see on what comes next week as we move into episode number 12. I'm really excited to see on kind of how this kind of wraps up between him and Celia. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys missed our reaction, check it out on screen right now, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, Spirit Chronicles fans.